Have you ever heard of the term EQ? Hey, Rob Spence here. I'm the Managing Director of Paragon Sales Solutions here in the UK. I'm also a sales trainer, sales author, sales coach, and just a general sales nerd, I'm not going to lie. Thank you for joining us this week for another edition of Rob's Best Business Books. Now, if you're new to this series, I really appreciate you coming to check us out. Every week I'm sharing with you the books that I feel are going to be truly influential and important for you, your life, your business, your career, your sales, anything like that. If you know of me, you know that I do love to read, and I read and consume a lot of content. And I want to share the books with you that I think are going to benefit you as well. I've reviewed before just sales books, and you can find those on our YouTube channel under the playlist, The Quarantine Sales Book Club. But in this series, we're going to be talking about any kind of book, from self-help to autobiographies, to sales books, to marketing books, and just general business books. And this week, I want to share with you, it's a book that I'd probably put down along the lines of a self-help book, maybe? Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. It is Goleman. I always get confused. I always want to say Daniel Coleman. Daniel Goleman. Emotional Intelligence. Why it can matter more than IQ. We all know what IQ is, but this book talks about EQ and our understanding, knowledge of our own emotions. And not just our own emotions, but the emotions of the people that we talk to and the people that we interact with, which I think is truly important, especially in sales and business. And the reason I recommend this book, because if you are in business, you've got to be a people person to some degree. You've got to be able to talk to your staff, to your suppliers, to your customers, to your clients. And having great emotional intelligence will help you to understand what is perhaps going through other people's minds and how to act in certain situations. So I'll be honest, this book is this is one of those books that's going to give you a headache because it's so in-depth, it's so thick, and there's a lot going on. I mean, just look at how, small the font is there, very, very small, and it's a good 340 pages, give or take, so it's very thick, but very worthwhile reading. I'm just going to go through the blurb with you. So it's the groundbreaking book that redefines intelligence and success. Is IQ destiny? Not nearly much as we think. Daniel Goleman argues that our view of human intelligence is far too narrow, and that our emotions play a far greater role in thought, decision-making, and individual success than is commonly acknowledged. Emotional intelligence includes self-awareness, impulse control, persistence, zeal and motivation, empathy, and social deftness. These are the qualities that mark people who excel, whose relationships flourish, who are stars in the workplace. With new insights into the brain architecture underlying emotion and rationality, Goleman shows precisely how emotional intelligence can be nurtured and strengthened in all of us. And because emotional lessons a child, have I read that wrong? And because emotional lessons a child learns actually sculpts the brain circuitry, Goleman provides detailed guidance as to how parents and schools can benefit from this. So it's a really thick book, including really in-depth diagrams, studies. Like I say, it's written by a very, very clever man. And although, yes, it might be, dare I say, a slow book, and perhaps one of the slower books we've got on the list just because of how in-depth it is, I'm a big believer that if one were to understand their emotions and understand what's going on with ourselves and the people we talk to, then that whole sales process and communication process does become a bit easier. So Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman goes on the list. I will share a link to the book with you on our blog, which will come out on Monday, the Monday following this video. And of course, it goes without saying, I cannot thank you enough. I know I said at the start of the video, but I cannot thank you enough for joining us on these videos. They'll be out every Wednesday on both Facebook and YouTube. And I cannot wait to share next week's book with you. Until next time, all the best.